back, everybody, to the Nerdcore podcast, the podcast that reviews the movies and talks that nerd shit. This is episode 506, and it is your conclusion to Edward Yang month here on the Nerdcore as we review his 1991 epic, A Brighter Summer Day. As always, it is the Nerd Chicana here to host the show alongside my wonderful co-host, best friend, everything you want to call him, my
Maybe
bearded
not.
one,
Maybe not
Young
everything.
Yoda. Young
Sup,
Yoda.
sup, everybody. Welcome to a wonderful Tuesday, because you won't see me until Friday.
Yeah. That's if well yeah, we will have Friday. Saturday and Sunday are gonna be iffy, depending on how fast I can get my shit set up. But yeah. Man. For those of y'all who what's it called you know what, man? I'm gonna stop downing ourselves, man. We can do it, man. We can get through these long ass movies and we can make these episodes possible.
Yeah,
So,
it just takes a little extra work.
yeah. We did before this our longest was fucking The Irishman, but now Brighter Summer Day, bro. Brighter Summer Day is our longest movie yet. Oh man, but yeah, Brad. Before we can get into talking about this magnificent movie, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good, doing good. Did 30 minutes on the treadmill when I got home. I'm drinking nice thing of matcha tea. After this, I'm gonna go lift heavy things. I wrote a few pages for my book. It's all coming together.
It's all coming together.
It's all coming
Like
together.
yes,
I watched a
like
wonderful movie yesterday
yep.
by many methods.
I switched from Criteria Channel to YouTube to fucking Vimeo.
Made it work.
Brad, I mean, look, man. Like I haven't said it on the show yet, bro, but I'm proud of ourselves. What's it called? We've been hitting the pretty consistent. The only reason it's probably not going to be a little consistent this week is because we decided to carve out literally the week
Yeah.
for this movie. And now that we what's it called are done with that, we have the other ones to look forward to next week. But it's gonna look a little bit weird this week, y'all, because of me moving. But once everything's set up Monday, everything will be fine to go. What's it called? We'll be able to do our stuff. Tuesday next week will actually be the Lego movie commentary because we couldn't do it today. But yeah, not quite a day today, Brad. I mean, you sent me the message. You're like, hey man, can we just do it today? Like, I already finished this movie. I'm like, challenge accepted.
And yesterday, let me put this in perspective. So I didn't start it yesterday. I started the day before, but only
Mhm.
got like 30 minutes in. So 30
Yeah.
minutes and 4 hours ain't much. Yesterday, I came home, boom, hit the treadmill. Put this on my Kindle, watched it on the treadmill for an hour,
Yeah.
then watched it while I was eating dinner,
Yep.
paused it, lifted some weights, came back, finished it up right before I went to bed. So it was basically like my whole day was this movie.
You're like, I'm not going to bed until I finish this fucking movie.
Well, I almost did, but Brenda goes and takes a shower while I'm already ready for bed. So I'm like, fuck it, I'll just finish the goddamn movie. Let's do
Yeah.
this.
Yeah. Hi, Michelle.
Hi,
Hi.
Michelle.
How you doing? Brad, I can't imagine leaving off on those last 20 minutes, bro. I can't imagine, bro. Because
So
it's like
I didn't leave off on the
yeah.
last 20. I might have had like 40 minutes left when I paused it
Oof.
and went to lift weights.
Even then, it's kind of like kicking it there a bit
Yeah,
because
yeah,
once you
kind
get
of,
to the
sort of.
30,
But it was one of
yeah,
those things like it really hard to watch this movie and lift weights. I'm
yeah,
just subtitles and
yeah.
all.
You don't know Mandarin, you don't know Shanghainese, and you
No,
know,
don't know any of that. So it was really like gotta have the closed captions on there. Um, but it was possible to do it on a treadmill. That was kind of like it was kind of nice
yeah,
to know I could do that.
yeah. But yeah, man. I mean, yeah. Once those 30 minutes kick in, you're like, oh no, I'm gonna finish this. This shit is about to like, it's
Whew.
really fucking hitting the fan. Yeah, but yeah. All I did today was that I was like, okay, challenge accepted. I was like, let me go ahead and what's it called? Let me go ahead and finish editing my video. That's gonna come out tomorrow, and then let me go ahead and work on this. And I went ahead and started to work on the what's it called. Watch this. I had to go and shop for some stuff we're gonna need for the apartment. So then we did that, and I was like, okay, cool. I'm coming back. I'm gonna eat. No, I came back. I watched a little bit more, and I think I had like an hour and no, like 2 hours maybe. I don't remember. I think I got to like 2 hours. Yeah, I had like an hour and like less than 2 hours left. And I told my cousins, I was like, y'all are not allowed to see me until I have 20 minutes left of this movie to watch, at least. And I was like, you know what? Fuck it. And the Criterion Channel fucking
Yeah,
crashes.
just crashed on you.
Yep. Criterion Channel crashed. It went down for everybody. And then I remembered I have other methods.
Hmm.
So I decided to watch on my other method and I finished it. And now we are here. Yeah. Gone on strike. Oh my God. Hi, Kylie. JK, Jake. Yeah. Sorry, Kylie. I'd rather give you the chance to have an actual rifle commentary on Tuesday once we're set up and I can actually show it to everybody so everybody can watch together with their own copies. But yeah, it's been what's it called? Been that yesterday. Pretty much just tried to. I didn't. I was trying to watch everything else but this fucking movie because I was like, fuck it, maybe on Thursday we'll do it. And I was like, nah. But Brad, you know what? You lit a fire under my ass, and guess what? I got through this fucking movie today.
I mean, 4 hours is not easy. Like 4 hours
No,
is
it's
not
not.
an easy
It's
movie
not.
to get through. Um, when it's a bad movie, of course, but luckily this is not a bad movie.
No, so Dragon Ball Superhero, one of the best movies of the year. I'm hearing good things. I'm hearing good things.
Yeah,
Uh,
so have I.
so I'm glad. I'm glad you liked it, Kylie. But yeah, guys, this is gonna be our conclusion, at least on this part of the show, for our Edward Gang month. Of course, if you want to to see the actual conclusion of the month, you need to head over to patreon.com/the Nerdcore for our review of a confusion, and that will be our actual um overall conclusion. Just $2 a month, y'all. So if you're a fan of Edward Yang and you want to hear our review on that, that'll be provided to you all. I want to say by next week. What's it called? If we can get that one done, if we can get that movie. That should be the next one that we watch because what's it called? We're gonna have a little bit of time from now until She-Hulk drops to at least get something in there, right, Brad? Because on
Hmm.
Monday, I believe we're doing Good Luck to You, Leo Grand, and well, yeah, but yeah, patreon.com/nerdcore if you want to watch that. If you want to watch that and hear that review, but more on that in the coming weeks. And of course, at the end of the month, we'll let you all. At the end of this episode, we'll let you all know what our next theme is. But if you've been here long enough, you know damn well what September is. So we'll give you the rundown of what's happening. We had to do the coin toss a little bit earlier because we had to make sure we get those movies out to Lydia, so for her to do her magic on that. So yeah. But other than that, Brad, I think it's time. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Awesome. So, if you've never seen A Brighter Summer Day, this film did come out in 1991. So, if you want to get out of here because you don't want to be spoiled, or if you don't care about spoilers, or you've already seen this film, or the fact that this is actually based on a real event that happened in Taiwan, and you really can't spoil that, then you can go ahead and still stay here. Either way, how it goes is your one and only spoiler warning, and it is in effect in in a five, four, three, two, one. September is the best of the Razzie films. Oh no, God no. I would not be able to make it through those films nominated for a Razzie. Even though some of them are actually good. Like I believe The Shining was nominated for a Razzie. So
Seriously?
yeah, they
Wow.
nominated. I don't know. I look, man. I get it, like for the lulls and everything that people nominate films for the Razzies, but like the
Not when it's
Razzies,
good. Like I get Catwoman. Like, damn.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
that
But
one makes
sometimes the
sense.
Razzies, just like the Oscars, are so fucking full of themselves and up their own ass. Like, you know, you don't need to publicly be like, "Yo, this movie was so shit," like that to the point of like giving it an award for being shit. Like
But I
that's
mean, there are some movies that kind of do deserve it.
yeah.
I'm just
But to
saying.
be fair, and like we all just
Like
go
that
back to
Dragon
this
Ball
movie,
movie, not the new Dragon Ball animated movie, but the live
Super.
action one. Like,
Yeah, it was.
totally deserve it.
Yeah. But Brad, this is my last pick of the month. We switched roles because we needed to make time for this movie. So um, I'm gonna go ahead and read today. And I don't have much to read, Brad. So I'm gonna have the IMDb page, so I'm gonna read the IMDb synopsis here for y'all.
You have 4 sentences. It looks like.
Yeah, A Brighter Summer Day is a 1991 Taiwanese epic teen crime drama film directed by Edward Yang, associated with the new Taiwanese cinema. The English title is derived from the lyrics of Elvis Presley's "Are You Lonesome Tonight?" The film was selected as the Taiwanese entry for the Best Foreign Language Film at the 64th Academy Awards, but was not nominated. Set in the late 1950s and early 1960s, the film centers on Zhao Shi, played by Shang Chen, a boy from a middle class home who veers into juvenile delinquency. So, what's it called? Directed by Edward Yang. You have like five, what's it called, screenwriters on this film, by the way. You have five writers on this film. Uh, and it stars ensemble cast, by the way, y'all. Most of the people who are involved in this cast, like you have hundreds of characters in this. All of them were mostly non-professional actors that Edward Yang found, like literal children that he pretty much just hand selected to be in this film, who never acted a single day in their lives. It's nuts. Cinematography is done by Hugh Kyung, Hyun Hugh Kung, and Lee Long Yu, and edited by Bowen Sean. And of course, it sits at 3 hours and 57 minutes on the dot in Taiwanese. Has many languages though. You hear some bit of Taiwanese, you hear some Mandarin Chinese, and you hear a bit of Shanghainese. So a lot of different dialects of in this film. And let me go ahead and give you all the IMDb synopsis because I think it's a better one than whatever Wikipedia just provided to us. Based on a true story, primarily on a conflict between two youth gangs, a 14-year-old boy's girlfriend conflicts with the head of one gang for an unclear reason, and finally the conflict comes to a violent climax. So, shall we get into this, Brad? What is Stacy saying here? September is Nicolas Cage alimony movie month. Kind of a long theme, but okay. Oh my god.
Oh no.
No. No, no. No,
Oh
no.
no.
Brad, shall we open it up with you, or you want me to go first?
I can go.
All right, Brad, give us your initial thoughts here on Edward Yang's A Brighter Summer Day.
My initial thoughts are the restoration of this was beautiful. beautiful compared to the last movie we watched. I was very, very pleasantly surprised at just how good this looked. And it definitely has all the trademark fingerprints of Edward Yang on it. The framing, the cinematography, his direction for the actors and like or
Plus some
actresses
music.
too. Like you said, he literally just picked them out randomly, a bunch of kids, and like they acted their ass off, all of them, like everyone in this film. So amazing, great. I did find it funny that like at the end it said this was the first case of a juvenile murder
Mm-hmm.
in Taiwan, I think is
Yeah.
what it said. And which is funny because there's a whole scene where like the whole gang got stabbed and like killed to shit.
Yep.
So I was like, so none of them got charged before all this incident. Um, like none of it was a good incident towards the end there. Like, don't get me wrong, but
Yeah.
I just found it like I'm like, so a dude pushed another dude in front of a truck, and then that gang retaliated by stabbing everyone else in the other gang, and no one got charged for that. Seems kind of weird. But moving on, yes, like okay. But it definitely tells you that, growing up in this timeline with everything that's going on, you had secret police, you had just, kids basically having to deal with being moved from their home to a nationalist country that is being Americanized at the same time. So all these kids are like confused and lost and just joining gangs because of it. So I think it was a great storytelling on Edward Yang's part. I think it's even greater that for a 4 hour movie, the pacing did not feel like a 4 hour movie.
Oh no, not at all. Uh, but I've got to tell you, man, because it's just the way that that I'm because like this is unlike a lot of the work of Edward Yang, and I guess I'm gonna go ahead and just spoil this right now for y'all. What's called before y'all hear the end, right? This is my second favorite movie from Edward Yang, and this is the second perfect score I'm gonna give a film from Edward Yang. But
Who's your
um,
first? Yee.
Yi, of course,
Yee.
Yi is
So
number
I'm
one.
I'm I'm just gonna say I'm in the same boat.
Yeah,
Yee's
but
still my
it's
favorite, but this is like I want to know with Mahjong. I want to know like when they restore that to what it probably should be. I want to know how my opinion changes on that one, especially if they do like with this and they put the captions and the subtitles and they do
mhm.
everything correct for it that needs to be done. How my opinion is going to change for that movie. But right now, Yee and this are definitely top.
Yeah, it's just so. First of all, we Edward Yang what's it called goes ahead to like tell us this is a really odd part in Taiwanese history. What's it called? People are being moved from mainland China into Taiwan because what's it called? The People's Republic of China has started to what's it called? Come up, and they're pretty much move people in there. So these people are all in this odd state of their life. They like have no idea what the fuck to do. They're being moved into a country that, frankly, they just saw change like that, and they're like, our country has changed completely. And even and I want to bring up something that was brought up in the film too. I think the mom goes like, when the radio is playing something about the government, and she goes, even after all these years that we've been at war with Japan, now we're
Mm-hmm.
being handed off to somebody else. Um, and what's going to happen is that the parents are at the point where they know how to cope with all this, right? Even
Yeah,
though it shows throughout the film that what's it called, that these parents still can't cope with it, and it seems that literally every single character in this film is on edge. But who is it going to affect the most?
the kids.
The children. Why? Because they have no idea what's going on. So what's going to happen when they're being ignored by their parents, they're being ignored by their country? They're going to deter to a side that will show them love and affection in the form of a gang. And all these kids are going to start deterring to crime. Then we what's it called? We start to like ponder on, and that's kind of what Edward Yang kind of does in this film. He's like, is it a cultural problem? Is it a government problem? Is it because we have what's it called? We're like also kind of what's it called, like sensationalized with this thing that's coming from the West, and soon you already have basketball, you already have baseball there, you have
Mm-hmm.
Elvis Presley. Soon you're gonna get gangster movies from the United States. Those are gonna influence a lot, and I mean even to a point. I believe there was a what's it called? There was a poster of Rebel Without a Cause,
Mm-hmm.
so you're gonna have to start getting the idea of like the cool macho man who's gonna get what's it called introduced into Taiwan. So I man, I love this movie, Brad. I think that Edward Yang is examining everything with like at everything that is on his plate, and it's so many things, and nothing seems to spill over
No, which
because
is
he's
which is
fuck.
kind of that takes a talented hand.
Yeah.
And I was not feeling too great about the last two movies we've reviewed. But this reminds me quite a bit of what he did with Yi, and
Yeah.
this reminds me of his storytelling is up there with some of the greats.
Oh yeah, 1,000% one of the greatest directors to ever live. Um, and it's just like he's able to handle all these characters with so much precision that it's like he never leaves anybody off to the side.
No.
No, and all these kids are fucking good. Like they're not bad at all. It's wild that these kids are acting circles around some of the professional actors that we just saw in Mahjong,
Hmm.
who are
Which
like,
which you have to be. Which maybe it's to say that
Maybe
these
that's
kids went
part.
in there
Yeah,
with knowing nothing and were able just to take direction from Yang, whereas he might have had to fight back with some of the already established actors.
yeah, and maybe that's part of the whole absurdist type of like approach to mahjong. Like that's what I'm gonna look for on a rewatch when we get an actually good restoration of this and we can see. But also, I mean, y'all, come on, let's go. World Cinema Foundation did this restoration. You know who that's founded by, who runs that bitch, bro? That's fucking Martin Scorsese, and he's the number one Edward Gang fanboy in this world. So he's what's it called gonna make sure this thing gets all the care and love that it gets, and by God, does it fucking show because this
Beautiful.
restoration looks incredible. This is
Hmm.
a 4K digital restoration presented on a Blu-ray disc. We're watching it on we're watching it on Criterion Channel, so you get a bit of that compression from the online. So just imagine when you pop in that disc into a 4K player and you get that upscaling. Fuck, man. But along with along with Elvis and James Dean, might as well blame video games as being a bad influence as well. You know, Pong would lead the Pong would lead the youth down a dark
Yep, just call us
path.
Tipper Gore.
Yeah, but it's just Brad. It's just so many things going on at once, and like, and you see like the major shift that's gonna happen is at the end. Once this big crime is gonna start. What's it called? Big crime happens, and they're like, we can do the death penalty, death sentence. But I think that's where they notice. Like, I think we're deterring too much into the West.
Yeah.
That's
Uh,
way too much into the way the West handles these things.
yeah, and then you can definitely tell the Western influence is
Oh
coming.
yeah.
Just
Oh
with the
yeah.
fact that you have Elvis albums there, and they're starting to sing English songs in English, and Yang just does a terrific job in showing that what was past is just kind of being lost on the youth, and this
Yeah.
new Western ideal is there, along with
And
the
nationalism.
nationalist sentiment. Yeah,
Yeah. And you can tell too in like the with the sets. There's tables, there's couches. You know, it's no more
there's
actually
pool. There's a whole
pool,
pool hall
a
with
pool.
gambling. Like there's a
Yeah,
racket, and then there's concerts, which is a racket. Everything's like a racket.
yeah. And it's like you have all this going on, and you can tell like Taiwan is changing before our eyes, and that's why I think like even though it's a 4 hour movie, y'all. I think if you really want to see the change of Taiwan, if you study that change of Taiwan in Edward Yang's film, start from here, end with Yi Yi at the end,
Yeah,
and it's just you're gonna see a drastic change go happen. And I was just like, also just in general, the story that we're covering about this boy who falls in love with this boy who has so much potential, so much. He's super smart. He's focused on his education. His dad even tells him your education is the only thing you can have going for you right now. Like this is the one thing that the government might have some control over it, but like doing so good, like this is the thing that's gonna help you get out of all
hmm
this shit that we're dealing with. And throughout this 4 hour movie, you see how everything seems to influence him to just come into a completely different person at the end of this film.
yeah. And then also, not only that, he by his action, he actually destroys not just one life, he destroys a lot of lives.
Yeah, the mom
The
committed
mom tries
suicide.
to commit suicide,
Yeah,
and her like she said, her only out to having a better life was her daughter to become something for
yeah,
herself. And do I think he meant to kill her? I think he did it in a fit of rage and passion. He still killed her, so
yeah.
there's no getting past that. But when the scene where he's asking her, telling her to get up, and it's just like, dude, it don't work that way.
Nope. No, you did it. Also, just how wild it is that everybody's just kind of sitting there and they're like, everybody's in shock. And it's like,
Yeah, everybody. Well, it's like one of those videos when you like see somebody get hit by a car and nobody goes to help.
yeah,
It's everybody. I don't know if they're in shock or they just they're more focused on themselves and not caring.
and that's a bit of more of that like individualism that's coming in from the West compared to like how the Eastern view like everything as a community. And
Yeah.
I mean, it's just that it's a mix of that, and I think shock as well, because I think everybody kind of has the kind of like understands that like, oh, shit's about to hit the fan with this. Like this is not gonna end up well. Um, and that's the thing is like at this time you have so many families that are hungry. They're scraping for food, scraping for money because either everybody's getting labeled a communist because they work with what's called the communist government at the time, and they're being taken away by the secret police or people who are going ahead and just defile, what's it called, going against the PRC government at the time, and are being what's it called taken away by secret police. So you have all these people who are like no money. There's no money. There's no
Yeah.
food. There's no money, and that's
No
why I
jobs.
understand Ming's family. I understand what Ming's family is going through, and I understand why they're like, baby, like you got your education, but it's time for you to go ahead and start what's it called, throwing it to whoever you can find right now. Because what's it called, if this school don't work out, that doctor at the school nurse, he might be the only one who's gonna pull us out of poverty right now, and
And
that
then
sucks.
you add on top of that that the doctor was taking advantage
Yeah,
of an eighth grader along with
yeah,
that. So
so
there's a
fucked up.
whole bunch of fucked up, about this society that's, you know, just starting. That's that's what I'm seeing. And then, it from this kid, you basically get to see that,
Yeah,
society's trying to fix these women that they deem inappropriate, and it's like, can't you see that you guys are also like
yeah,
a problem?
and that's the cultural problem right there. That's the big cultural problem. It's like, oh, maybe it's about the way that we're raising our boys and the way that we're making them what's it called angry enough to go take a knife and stab a woman in plain
Or hit the
sight.
principal over the head with a baseball bat, which, by the
Yeah,
way, like, I get that. Dude was a fucking dick.
yeah,
But at the
dude,
same time,
this is
if
a
you're
dick,
looking
bro.
to try and make your life better and get an education, you don't hit the fucking principal in the head with a
Fucking
baseball
yeah,
bat. Although I love the way that was filmed, because you
yeah,
didn't see the violence, you saw the broken, light bulb, and you kind of
yeah.
knew.
But fuck, man, those last 10 minutes of this movie just, oh my god, hit fucking emotional gut right there, with his literally one of his only friends wanting to get a tape to him so that
Yeah.
way he could just hear his voice. Because look, at the end of the day, y'all, what's it called? Prisoners, deserve a life. They deserve a life, and they deserve to have communication with those outside. The crimes they commit are terrible, and they are paying for it by being in prison. And even then, the prison complex is a big thing that we can discuss. But the fact is that prisoners have rights. They should have rights.
And it's gotten worse over the year due to the privatization of prison.
Mm-hmm.
That's a
Mm-hmm.
big part to do with it. Hell, even just this week or last week, what, two judges were brought into court because they were, getting pay for sending prisoners to these
Yeah.
prisons.
Yeah. And it's like and he just wants to give that tape, and those fucking officers don't give a fuck. They don't.
No,
They don't care. They don't,
no,
like, oh, it seems that the stuff gets lost in the mailing room. Bullshit. They
circle
got those.
file.
They got those. What's it called? Letters, and ripped them up.
Yep, circle file.
Yeah, yeah. And like the tape plays, and it's just like, and that's just like this would be a great film to talk on cinema condition, because you have like that kid also is a kid that is getting what's called consumed by violence, but he has such a great talent. He has a great voice
Hmm.
that if he was living in a different period in a different country,
Yeah,
easily would have been able to get to make a success out of his life.
yeah,
And
and that's kind of the issue shown in this, is just the way all this country has gone through, and the way, just Western media was brought in. It's a confused country. It's a
yeah,
confused populace from adult to child, and who does it affect the most? Like you said, the kids.
kids. Hmm. Yeah, kids, because all those anxieties that the parents have, they're gonna transfer them over to the kids, and they're gonna be hard on them, and they're gonna transfer them over to the kids, and the kids are just gonna end up
Oh, that
falling through the
one
cracks.
scene where the dad's beating the
Oh
son
yeah,
because he thought the son pawned that watch. That was brutal. That was
yeah.
like even the mom was like, okay,
Yo, yo, we done.
that's enough,
We
yo.
done. You're like,
And
nope,
and
I'm
then
not
you
done.
learn that no, he just won a lot of money in pool, and he was trying to get the watch back for his brother,
Yep.
and you're like, well, shit.
Yeah. But it's like it's just such a hard thing there. It's like, by the way, what's called? I didn't think that there would be a comedic moment in this film, but I'm not gonna lie. When that little kid is pretending to stab the mannequin, and the mannequin comes back up and hits him right in the face, he's like, "Ah, shit!" I fucking laughed. I laughed. I was like, "This stupid kid, bro!" Like, he's like, "No, I'm gonna go in there. I'm gonna," and then
There
that's
were
the
a
second
few
time.
moments like that, like when the dude walks over and starts lighting the candle, and then they turn the lights on, so he blows the candles out. It's just like that was so dumb.
So dumb, so dumb. But oh my god, I love this movie, man. Um, I've never felt 4 hours, almost 4 hours, breeze by so well. It wasn't rushed. It wasn't dragging
No,
at all.
which is strange for a 4-hour movie. I mean, even Kurosawa had issues with his longer movies, in my opinion.
Yeah, yeah,
So that's saying something when you can say, yeah, this 4-hour movie had no pacing issues.
yep, yeah. So as I said in the beginning, y'all, I give this a perfect 10 out of 10. Uh, this is literally the only other 10 that I've given this film, his films, except for Yi Yi. This is literally my second favorite. It's right below Yi Yi and above the Terrorizers, which Brad hasn't seen because what's called I won the what's it called, coin toss, but the Terrorizers is also really good. So I you guys can watch that. I think that's on Mubi as if I'm correct, or on
Is
Amazon
that a
Prime.
restoration?
That yeah, that is a restoration. That
Okay.
movie looks good, Brad. Movie looks good. She looks good. But it's a different type of movie, but it's also just interesting how what Yang kind of like what's it called, different, like also mixes crime into like a drama and like
I mean,
the
I'm finding, I thought Edward Yang would have kept a one, kind of genre and one
mm,
vision, but he jumps into a lot of different genres and tries a lot of different things, which is kind of nice
yeah,
to see. But when he hits it out of the park, he hits it out of the park.
yeah. It just seems like he has like overarching themes that he's covering, that he knows that he wants to cover. It's just the way he approaches them around with different genres, and
Yep.
I respect the fuck out of that. Yeah. Brad, what are you gonna go ahead and give a brighter summer day?
I'm gonna go with your same sentiments. Just below Yee, 10 out of 10. For a 4-hour movie, fuck. At least it's
Yeah.
a good 4-hour movie.
Yeah, man. Oh God. I can't believe we'll literally only have one more movie. So I guess next year for what's it called? For next year's international month, we'll have to throw in the Terrorizer so we can actually finish up his filmography. But
Yeah.
I'll have his movies filmography finished, but you'll be left off of one more, just like you have one last Tarkovsky left to finish, and then you've watched all his movies. But
Yeah, which is kind of crazy when you think we were going through all these
yeah,
these directors' movies and we're just knocking them
um,
out. Other than
just knocking them out.
Kurosawa, because we still got a ways to go on Kurosawa.
So,
Which, by the way, we have reviewed a lot of Kurosawa
yeah. And guess what? We got one more coming up next month, y'all.
You're
Because
welcome.
what's it called? If you
Because
think, my
Brad had to.
friends, if you know anything, y'all, you know that September here at the Nerd Core is devoted to international movies. And of course, what's called, you know the rules that we've done so far, y'all. Any country outside of the United States is fair game. We can only choose
Canada?
a movie per country. So if Brad had chosen Japan, I couldn't choose Japan. Luckily enough, when we did these picks, none of us ended up picking two different countries. So of course, I will give you all the schedule here because we already did our nice little beautiful coin toss here, and yeah, I Brad won. I actually, it wasn't a coin toss. It was
It,
it was a
it
circle.
was
I
the computer. I always win the computer. I always lose the coin toss.
Yeah, so I did the coin. The what's it called, the computer. I did best of three. You won on the first two. I lost. I won the first on the last one. So it doesn't even matter. You won. So this is your month, Brad. This is your
Yay.
you won this month. So we will start not next week, but the following week, in September, we will do "Tigers Are Not Afraid" from Mexico, directed by by Isabella Lopez. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a
and
great movie.
I just chose that because we talked about it a few weeks ago, and I'm like,
Yeah,
I've seen that trailer. I saw that trailer when it first came out, and I never saw the movie, but I
yeah,
really liked the trailer. And you brought it back up, and I'm like, I'm choosing that for International Film Month.
yeah. It's wild, Brad. We have like so. All right, staying in the same region, we have next week another Latin American film from Colombia. We have Monos from my pick. The week after that, we are gonna go ahead and go over to Japan as we talk about another Akira Kurosawa film, Scandal. The week after that, y'all, we'll be concluding with our first Wong Kar Wai film here on the Nerdcore podcast that we're gonna discuss. We're gonna do specifically the Hong Kong cut of the Grandmaster that is not available on Netflix, but Brad knows other methods that he'll be able to watch it because I refuse to watch the cut that Harvey Weinstein absolutely butchered
Mm,
to release in the United States. Yeah. So you watch the Hong Kong cut because that one that Harvey Weinstein released apparently was absolute dog shit.
I
And
believe it.
like, yeah, like always, he's never gonna freaking what's it called? Respect.
I think the only movie Weinstein wouldn't touch was Tarantino because I think Tarantino's crazy enough to kill Weinstein.
Are you crazy, bro? No, Miyazaki. He. You know why he didn't do it?
Hmm.
Because Miyazaki sent a samurai sword to Weinstein's house with engraved in the samurai sword no cuts on the film.
Just a little threat.
Mm. And guess what?
No
He
cuts
didn't make
came to
any.
that film.
He did not make a single cut in Princess Mononoke. And
Yeah, Miyazaki's crazy too.
yeah, Bong Joon Ho.
Miyazaki is the most depressed director to ever live.
Yeah,
He hates himself. He hates his work. He hates you. But he can
yeah.
make damn good animated films.
And Bong Joon-ho also had to make up a story about his father being a fisherman or something to keep one of his films from getting cut. And he was like, "Dude,
My father was never a fucking fisherman.
no, he was a carpenter."
I do remember
Oh
that.
my
That's pretty
god!
funny.
So maybe a finish their filmography month. That's actually really
Ooh,
good.
that's a pretty good
Good
one.
one. Because what's it called we have
Although that could be you know that could be misconstrued for finish, like the fins.
no. I just say
Nothing.
it's funny
No.
because
Okay.
one Edward Yang left, one Tarkovsky left, one Iñárritu, Alejandro Iñárritu left.
We only have one Inarito left.
Yep, 21 grams.
Oh
Of
wow.
course, not counting his new movie that's going to come out, but we can't make a month out of two films.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, we've covered Motor Speddles, covered Babel, Birdman, The Revenant, and yeah, that's it. Yeah, we literally
Yeah,
need
we have
21
done all that.
grams. Yeah,
Shit.
21 grams is literally the only one that's left, right?
Huh.
But yeah, y'all. So that's gonna be it. And our Patreon mini will be not last year's 2020's best international feature winner of the Oscar was another round from director Thomas Vinterberg. So that will be interesting for me to revisit because I didn't like that movie.
Oh, sorry. I never seen
Yep.
it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's all good, Brad. I'll revisit it. Not Monos, The Hands of Fate. I hope. I don't know. I never heard of that shit. But I thank you all so much for sticking with us through this review of A Brighter Summer Day. And I hope that everybody had a great time. And I hope that whenever this finds you, you are safe and you are healthy and you are having a great time. And hopefully, we can see you all again. We will be back on Friday for our review of She Hulk episode 2. And then on Sunday, hopefully, if all goes well, fingers are crossed, we will be reviewing House of the Dragon episode 2. I just got to make sure I connect everything as fast as possible, and I'm not tired as hell. But we'll do that on Sunday. If not, y'all just gonna have to wait another week for us to talk about House of the Dragon. But without further ado, I want to thank our wonderful patrons who are here. Oh, I'm so sorry. No, I want to thank our wonderful listeners and viewers who were checking out this episode. Specifically, I want to thank Michelle, Kylie, and Stacy for being in the chat with us. I want to thank as well our wonderful patrons who make this show possible. If you want to support us on Patreon, you can go to patreon.com/nerdcore for tiers as low as $1. it gets you into the vault, and $2 and up gets you some nice exclusives, y'all. And of course, we want to thank you all so much for making that possible because you all, everybody who watches here makes this all possible. But the patrons go out of their way to make sure that the network stays a bit afloat because of y'all. We are actually going to be able to afford to what's called pay Lydia for another month because I checked the balance and like we can go halvesies again. So we'll be able to do that. And we've been loving what Lady has been doing. So we're good to go with that. And we want to thank our producer, our writer, and our director. Tell them about our executive producer Shane, Brad.
You can follow our friend Shane at twitch.tv/XSRK or on Twitter at ThriftedIL. Also, go buy something from the Suppy Guide at Present City Vintage in Illinois.
Awesome stuff. And of course, we want to thank our writer Tony
Hey, Tony.
at Real Nerdy Dad on Twitter. And then our wonderful Kylie.
Hi, Kylie.
Yep, your intergalactical champion of the universe. I don't know what the fuck
I'm going to
that
steal that
title's
belt.
called.
That's going to be my belt.
Your belt. But yeah, your
I don't care what
champion.
Dwayne says. I'm going to take that belt.
Yeah, Kylie. We'll be doing our Lego movie commentary next Tuesday, y'all. I'm sorry. It's gonna happen next Tuesday. And of course, you can follow Kylie at Kylie PLI on Twitter and Kylie P Sports 90 on Instagram. Go and check out all of her wonderful stuff. She's awesome, and we love her so much. Thank you for being a director. If you want to check out all those tiers, you just got to go to patreon.com/nerdlord and check out the 15, the 25, and the $50 tiers to be a writer, executive producer, a writer, or a director of this podcast. Whew. Yeah, that's all we got here, folks. And of course, it's been a lot of fun. Brad, we'll see them on Friday for She-Hulk episode 2 on the Nerdcore live show as we review that episode. But in the meantime, Brad, let's send them out of here.
All right, Raul. Thank you, being host as always. Thank to all our listeners out there, all our patrons, supporters, and all those who joined us in chat today. We appreciate each and every one of you. And to end this episode, yeah, don't stab people with samurai swords, everyone. It hurts. You might lose an eye. Young Yoda out.